So recently, famed director, YouTuber Joel Haver stole a series idea from famed YouTuber director Karsten Runquist.
Full disclosure, I am stealing this series wholesale from Karsten Runquist.
And I figured, hey, I'm also a thief. I can steal the series from Joel Haver. And by the transitive property, then I will have also stolen it from Karsten, which will mean I am the greatest criminal of the three. So here I am, gonna do a little review of everything that I watched this month, starting with Wes Anderson's series of four Roald Dahl uh, short films. These were pretty good. I think Wes Anderson is a director who rarely puts out something that I hate, but has sort of gotten away, in my mind, from what I like from him. I feel like he's so polished and so thoughtful and so, I guess, thorough in that, like, all these shots of, you know, straight on, clean sweep angles, everything's super symmetrical, beautiful shots, so well choreographed, all these things. I think that he's really leaned into that more and more. And I think some of my favorite movies from him sort of contain moments that like push out of that sort of storybook energy a little bit. Movies like The Royal Tenenbaums and The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou sort of get like a little, just because the characters get more time to develop and sort of go to darker places. I think that storybook like feeling clashes with that a little bit better and gives me something that I can like sink my teeth into a little bit more than some of his more recent stuff. These movies don't really get to that spot. They're so short and they're based on some great short stories by Roald Dahl. And I do think that Wes Anderson and Roald Dahl are like, two muscly arms clasping hands meme. It makes perfect sense to me. But the sort of, I guess, like, conceit, the novelty of the characters speaking direct to camera, like sort of telling the story as the story's events are unfolding, were kind of, it was wearing thin on me by the end of the watching all four, I will say. If I had to rank them, I think that I really liked uh, Poison. I thought it was just like such a like neat, clean little short film. The Swan, so Poison up top. We'll say The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar in the second place spot because I think the start of it is incredible. I think by the end I wasn't as interested in it. That might be more due to the actual story than anything else, but the opening sequence is was incredible. Uh, Below that, I would put The Rat Catcher, which I liked fine, and The Swan, which I sort of found. I think it works better as a short story, to be honest with you. Following that, my partner and I watched Basic 2003 movie. It was like a really fun time. The plot does not make sense as far as there's too many holes in the plot. But if you sort of like squint your eyes and don't think about it, it's like a heist movie where the heist doesn't fully make sense by the end. The romance in it is like one of those romances where it's just like, well, this is the male lead and the female lead, so obviously they will get together. It's not a great like written film, but it is like there's a lot of fun, like very tactile feeling shots, lots of rain and like dark rooms, big like sounds and noises and images. It was like a really fun, well shot movie, and John Travolta's performance really fun. Just like so much fun to watch. Um, I would say not like something that I'm like, everyone should watch this, but if you're looking for like something to watch and sort of turn your brain off, I can recommend Basic. The week following, I watched something that definitely is not like a turn your brain off kind of movie, Killers of the Flower Moon. And wow, 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 wow. I don't think that Scorsese, I think sometimes it can get a little over bloated. And, he's got his sort of roster of actors he likes and all that sort of stuff. This movie was, another huge hit. It's just incredible. I don't think I've ever felt that angry at a character in a movie watching a movie. I don't think I've ever felt like that much anger. The performances were incredible. I don't have the cast list up in front of me. Hang on. Uh, yeah, Lily Gladstone, it was amazing. It was incredible. It was so good. Obviously De Niro and Leo did great jobs being the most hateable people I've ever seen in my life. Wanted to climb into the screen and fight them physically. Great, just great movie. Incredible. 5 stars. Wonderful. The next week, Emily and I watched Die Hard, a movie she had never seen and that I had forgotten. It's so good. It really is so good. What I remember about it is it's so like such a self-contained action movie. There's not that thing of like, oh, there's just 100 henchmen who are, nothing. Every single like villain of the like 12 people in the movie, it feels like there's real stakes behind each like conflict. And Bruce Willis, John McClane really feels like, oh, I'm like I'm like scraping by. And the villains are just so fun. I mean, Alan Rickman obviously is great in his role, but every villain is just so good. Like you're almost like rooting for them as much as you're rooting for John McClane. It's so good and so fun. I recommend it really highly. Uh, if you haven't seen it, check it out. But I mean, most people, you already know. The last movie we watched this month was The Menu. Pretty good little flick. Not incredible. I think it left a lot on the table. I think Ralph Fiennes was the perfect pick for his role, and I thought Anya Taylor-Joy was great, and I thought it was funny and good at different moments. But I think that they left sort of a lot on the table. They brought up a lot of themes that never really felt like they came to fruition. Lots of things about class and the way that food ties into that, and what does it mean to have, a meal that costs like $3,000, things like that. It just, I think it posited a lot of ideas, but never really explored them with the depth that I would have liked. That's about it. That's all for November. I watched some TV series, but I'm not going to talk about those here because this is a movie review. Have a good one. Adios.